I'm Mark Fernandez, and this is Franchising with Fernandez. Hi, I'm on the phone today with Nathalie Shifferly, the Operations Manager and Leasing Consultant at Phenix Salon Suites Franchising, based in sunny California, Los Angeles. Welcome, Nathalie.
Hi, Mark. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, pleasure. Thank you for your time. So, Nathalie, can you tell us exactly where you are and how many franchisees are in the group, etc.?
Yeah, so we're based out of LA. The corporate location is in San Diego. It originated out of Colorado. And we have about 320 units, and I oversee 150.
Wow. You've got your
Yeah.
hands full now, I'd imagine.
Yes, to say the least.
Oh, geez. And Nathalie, we're in crazy times right now. So can I get you to walk us through the last couple of weeks and what you've seen and, what you're doing?
Oh, absolutely. So for us, as of March 19th, it kind of hit full frontal where nobody knew what was going on. We're getting all these reports from the government and from the public and the governors in California. And it kind of set off a panic because nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows real numbers. Nobody knows what the future is looking like. So the best thing to do is jump ahead of that fire that's starting, that spark, and kind of get it under control. And by doing that, you want to take the what could happen, what ifs, and turn them into what can. What can we do at the current moment? What are we doing right now in this reality of where we're at? And let's collectively come up with an agreement. And that way we don't have franchisees kind of going off the deep end, freaking out and doing stuff that could ultimately hurt the brand across the board. We had a lot of franchisees saying, well, we need to shut our locations down or we need to offer free rent. And then that's going to kind of trickle down and hurt everybody depending on where they're at. So it was immediately a phone call, a text messages to get everybody out there like, this is where we're at. Let us get our lawyers in place. Let us find a game plan, but let's continue to be positive and keep calm, because as long as we're calm, then that's going to reciprocate down to our tenants and the people and the professionals that we're leasing to. And if we can show leadership and structure and a calmness, then that's going to keep the panic at hand.
Yeah, what a great answer. And you're right, to be calm in these troubled waters, it's pretty hard to do. I'm sure the phone's going a million miles an hour, the emails and,
it's
uncharted territory.
Yes, absolutely. And, every little detail that you come out with, you're going to have people who are just confused and they're scared and they're going to react. And the best thing, me personally, in regards to challenges, is just trying to take that emotion out of the equation, because people can, when they're fearful, when they're frightened, when they don't know and they're uncertain, they could say or react like an animal, in the wild. They're going to lash out, they're going to, cry, they're going to be super emotional. So you got to remember that it's not personal, it's just fear. And when you take that emotion out of the equation and you take a moment to yourself, and sometimes I take a step back, and I just have to do a breathing session with myself, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then just calm down and come back and say, this person is really upset. They're scared. So how can I help them to understand, at the same time giving them reassurance that it's going to be okay right now in this moment?
Yeah, it's really tough, and it's overwhelming at times when we're dealing
Absolutely.
with franchisees and leasing and franchise agreements and customers
Right.
and stakeholders and banks and you name it.
Exactly.
The list goes on. Nathalie, can you talk to us a little bit about what the franchisor is doing to help the franchisees through these unique times? Support?
Yes. So there's lots of support. There's actually, we've received an email in regards to a letter that we can now send to our franchisees, and then the tenants, the professionals that lease from them, that will help kind of put together an act of supporting independent and sole proprietor businesses, because as you know, with Phenix, our main clientele is all individual owners. They don't have a staff. It's just themselves or maybe a partner in their suites doing their work. So it's kind of like that gray area in government and unemployment where we don't really, they don't exist. And I say we because I'm a stylist still over 19 years, so I'm very aware if you're not in a traditional salon concept with a payroll, you are fending for yourself. So, the franchisor has put together a letter to start an act for the government to help, individual and sole proprietors. And you're seeing that now come out with the, in America, it's the PPP, which is the Paycheck Prevention that helps small businesses, sole proprietors in regards to, their obligations or their operations costs for two and a half times of the monthly fees or debts that they have.
Right.
So we've been doing that. We've been sending out letters in regards to, for our franchisees about the force majeure, which is circumstances that are in the lease that help them, not have to pay the rent necessarily right now, but then put it on the back end of their lease so they can kind of get a little bit of breath and go through that. So there's a lot of proactive steps, and we have, every day something new coming through via email. We're having Zoom chats. We're having, education that's available for all the franchisees and the professionals, to give them just the constant communication that they need to keep them calm and focused and business minded and not, panic minded.
Yeah, look, I agree with you, and you've got a lot of wonderful initiatives there. So hats off to your franchisor and your group collectively. You've put a lot of energy and thought into it. So hopefully, you guys can bed down and get through this. Wonderful.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Nathalie, can I ask you about we fast forward 6 or 9 months now, and in particular with your business, and then in franchising in the US, what do you see? Where is it heading?
I've talked with a lot of my franchisees about this, specifically one I'm closest with, and in regards to an impact to the business, I don't see, because at the end of this, our thought is in our industry, people, they need services. We are in an area where it brings a state of calm and a state of relaxation, of appreciation. I'm getting people that have, we've got our locations locked down, and they're getting calls from their clients saying, we can't wait for you to open. I feel horrible. I look horrible. It's about a sense of personal grooming and just that release and that ability to have someone pamper to you. So I don't see any huge effects or negatives in the future. I feel like it's just going to push people more to be there to help others. And that's what I think this whole pandemic is the fact that it's bringing us together. I mean, not obviously physically, we can't be close, but in regards to a mental standpoint of wanting to help others in a time of crisis. So I really don't feel like it's going to be a huge impact. I do see that we're going to go through a little slump and then start, gaining traction again.
Wonderful. All right. To all our franchising community in Australia down under here, is there anything that you want to say, or can you give us any words of wisdom of what you're seeing to help people through?
Yeah, it's just, I want to say, keeping positive. And I know that's hard to say. And a lot of times, people don't want to hear that, but that's the absolute most positive thoughts you can keep in your mind. I know that it's struggle. I know that there's times where you think that you're not going to be able to make it through, but talking to your other friends, talking to your franchisees, constantly communicating. And it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to have a stressful day where you just feel like you need to go out and scream. That's okay, because it's emotions and we're human. We're not robots. But among everything, I want to say, just communicate and always think and take a break before you react. You have somebody come at you hard or kind of hurtful. Take a step back, take a breathe, and then really push forward, and just know that you are the difference between somebody's like negative panic and somebody's positive, and like they can hold on and keep going. So communicate.
Wonderful. Well, Nathalie, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate your insights and what you're doing there with your franchisees. So thank you, and we wish you and your family all the best. So
yes, thank
Nathalie,
you, Mark. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, yes. No problem. Nathalie Shifferly, the operations manager and leasing consultant at Phenix Salon Suites at Franchising, based in sunny California, Los Angeles. If you have any positive franchising stories out there, I'd love to hear them. Drop me an email at mark@bda-online.com.au. I'm Mark Fernandez, and this is Franchising with Fernandez.